Now, in the wake of President Trump's comments about immigrants from what he considers to be shithole countries, and by extension calling them shithole people, there are conservatives that are reacting to this. Now, some of the reactions, of course, like on Fox News, for example, you have a lot of people defending those comments. And even on cable news, these are Trump people. They're defending these comments. But interestingly enough, there are actually also a lot of conservatives who are pushing back against these comments. Now, case in point, on CNN, Republican strategist Rick Wilson, who is somebody who's not a fan of Donald Trump, to be fair, decided to rip into conservative talk show host John Fredericks, who is a Trump supporter, who defended these comments. And I want you to take a look at that video. It's awesome.
You know, hearing John's defense of Trump, you know, and of this overtly racist aspect of it, it shocks me that we still have people in this country. You know, just don't bother calling yourself a conservative if you don't believe that there's a way where people who come and embrace the proposition of this country can become Americans. Because we've worked very hard in this country to accept people from around the world and of varying backgrounds. You know what, John? I'm sure your ancestors here weren't descended from the Mayflower in some cloud of heavenly light. I'm sure they came here from Ireland or Germany or Italy or somewhere else. And you know what? Back then, they were the shithole people. Back then, they were the people who were looked down upon. And you know what? If this is a country that's based on the proposition that we have an American system, an American dream, an American framework that allows people to come here and work hard and raise their families and engage in society and contribute to society, then your idea that these people should be bounded out of here because they happen to come from the shithole countries is absurdly un-American, absurdly unconstitutional, and not conservative in any way whatsoever. And if you believe that, go on Amazon, order yourself a pointy white hat, head down to Home Depot and get the wood to build a burning cross, because that's the kind of thing you're talking about. That's where your attitude leads to.
Damn. Preach, brother. I know, that guy's a conservative, right? It's hard to believe that this guy's a Republican. He's a GOP strategist, right? But he makes great points. I mean, first of all, nowhere in it, in conservatism, it says that you must hate brown people, right? That's something that racists, the white supremacists that have taken over the Republican Party and the conservative movement have actually made as part of their platform, right? Now, I love that he says that, hey, look, you're not a conservative if you don't believe that people who should come over and try to experience the American dream, right? Now, coming from poverty and oppression and overcoming that and working hard and making it in America, that is the American dream, right? Now, I do have to point out that in these days, the American dream is kind of dead. At least it's really, really, really hard to do, right? It is hard to make the American dream. But that is a separate conversation, right? But it goes to the, what the idea of America and what people love about America is the idea of actually making the American dream. And what we really need to do is we really need to get back to policies that encourage that. But anyway, now, so look, that's already a harsh criticism, right? But then, and I can't, I could not believe it when I heard this, right? Go to Amazon, order yourself a pointy hat, and go burn, get the wood to burn a cross. That is holy shit balls. That's not even the most amazing part. Now, Fredericks, he's going to respond, right, by saying, but you don't understand, that's not about race. They always say that, right? Oh, it's not about race. It's about economics. The immigrants, they hurt the country. They hurt the country, right? That's actually not true. Look, they'll point out things like, well, look, there's a lot of low-income immigrants that go and they work for jobs for less and they drive down, the wages, right? Well, that's because right now we're in a race to the bottom, right? But the thing that they always leave out is that immigrants also start more businesses and they actually create more jobs than people who are traditionally born in America. Now, with anything, of course, there is nuance. But see, this is what makes Trump's argument appealing to some people. because it's easy to ignore the nuance, and it's easy to cherry pick data and say, no, we can't have more immigrants. Remember, I'm talking about legal immigrants here. We can't have more of those because they drive down wages, because they'll work for less, so therefore we need to limit immigration. That's the Trump administration perspective, right? But at the same time, they ignore how many immigrants come here. And yes, maybe they'll work for a low-wage job for less than a native-born American, but guess what? They'll usually use that as a stepping stone. They'll get an education. More people end up getting an education than native-born Americans. And then when they get educated, they actually end up working for more than Americans will. So it reverses once there's an education in play. And again, they will end up creating businesses. I mean, look, for example, I'm part of the TYT network, okay? I'm not like using that to brag or anything like that, but TYT network was founded by an immigrant. Apple was founded by the son of an immigrant, right? Google was founded by, wait for it, an immigrant. And how many jobs have they created collectively? And some of those people came from what Trump would call a shithole country, right? So it's not about economics, but simple people fall for simple arguments. And there's more. There's actually more information on Haitians specifically, since that's what we were talking about, right? Now, census data analyzed by the Migration Policy Institute found that Haitian immigrants, get this, are more likely to have a high school degree than other foreign-born immigrants. Haitians older than 16 are 9 percentage points more likely to work than the U.S.-born population. So not only are they more educated than native-born Americans, but they also actually work. They're more likely to work. Now, economically, the 1.1 million people born in Haiti or with Haitian ancestry living in the United States sent $2.3 billion back to Haiti in 2015. So that's about a quarter of the domestic gross domestic product of the entire country. Now, so look, they do help the economy. They actually have a high participation in the U.S. labor force. But because of institutional racism and other factors, they end up actually getting paid less, right? They're more likely to work low-paying, low-wage jobs, according to a Brookings Institute study. They earn less money and they pay larger shares of their income on basic necessities. However, immigrants as a whole have helped American cities become, as they say, economic powerhouses. And unlike what Donald Trump says, right? Oh, they're bringing, like people from Mexico, for example, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime. Actually, no, immigrants commit less crimes than U.S.-born citizens. So all that information is, look, you can easily find that out. But look, a lot of these Trump supporters and sad to say, conservatives, they'll be like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe in facts. I don't believe in logic. I believe in what Dear Leader tells us. And what Dear Leader tells us is what we already want to hear. That these people are shithole people, and that's what's bringing the country down. It's completely wrong. But I didn't even show you the best part of this panel. And actually, this is where Rick Wilson really lays into him. Watch.
Well, it's about economics, Rick, and you can throw all the insults you want, and I appreciate it. But look, at the end of the day,
no, you don't appreciate it, John. You are a weak, impotent person who can't handle the fact that there are people who don't look like you who want to come to this country because our system is awesome. You hate that. You hate it so much because you're just so weak inside.
That's your substantive argument to me, Rick Wilson, who backed every losing
John,
candidate
I will gut you like a fish on this show if you want to keep this up. You don't have a substantive argument.
Okay,
your
guys.
argument is based entirely on the fact that those people are brown.
Let me respond.
Damn. Don't hit him again. Don't hit him again. Oh, you hit him again. Look, it got really personal there. But look, I don't blame him, right? That's exactly what he is. He said, you don't like those people because they're brown. There's no economic argument. And earlier in the segment, you heard I laid out all the facts that immigrants are actually positive to the economy. It's not about economics. It's not about those issues. It's about who can we demagogue, right? Who can we blame for problems that are actually complex? Immigration, good for the country overall, although there are upsides and downsides like in every single issue. Now, the only people that are against that are people who oppose, as Ann Coulter puts it, the browning of America. And that's, unfortunately, the side that Donald Trump is on. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.